very excited about our 2016 programme, which includes a huge amount of different projects and exhibitions. Later in the year we'll be launching the IMMA Collection, the Freud Project, as we bring in 50 works by Lucian Freud.
We've never done something like this before, where we've dedicated a building and 5 years to an individual artist. This will become the centre of Lucian Freud studies. That is quite a phenomenal honour and opportunity.
It's a very activated period of programming for us, using these extraordinary works at the core, where we as an institution explore with our audiences the impact that these works can have when they're in a public collection for such a length of time.
This is an opportunity to really get up close to these works and understand how Freud painted. What does Freud mean to artists today? And we can examine that.
And we're sure that it will have a lasting legacy of influencing the next generation of young Irish artists. Before that, we start the year with 2 great exhibitions. One, Carol Rama, The Passion, is a major retrospective of an extraordinary painter from Turin who throughout her life created very idiosyncratic, personal, very expressive paintings alongside a very major exhibition of Patrick Hennessy. It's part of her ongoing series of Irish modern masters, which look back to figures from recent Irish art history and re-examine them and reappraise their work. It's very important that we continue to build a bridge between Ireland and the international art world, bringing work of international significance to Dublin. And this can be seen with the exhibition in the autumn, Emily Jasi Europa. At the core of the 2016 programme, we've commissioned 3 artists who each in different ways help us look back upon our history and think again about what it means to be an Ireland in 2016. We're working again with Duncan Campbell, a very exciting Irish artist who won the Turner Prize in 2014, and we're delighted to be able to commission Duncan to make his first new work since the Turner Prize. Duncan is taking at the core of this work a film made by an American anthropological unit.
It's a study of the village of Duncan, which is on the Dingle Peninsula. The anthropologists control the camera, so it's really kind of from their perspective. I'm very interested in the kind of misconstrual, or the sort of how they might have misunderstood what they were seeing. It's quite a tangential look at 1916. You know, it's not about like people storming the GPO. That whole kind of revival of interest in culturally what it meant to be Irish. For me, growing up, places like Duncan, Gaelic-speaking peasant culture, that was the nub of what it was to be Irish. One of the things that I found in the course of making this film is that it's very kind of mythologised, and there's a lot of legends come from that. I think it's really important to kind of try and unpack that a bit.
Jaki Irvine has been researching for a number of years the story of Elizabeth O'Farrell and taken that core research as a starting point for an extraordinary work that will explore through sound the vision of these women who were involved in the Rising.
A couple of years ago I wrote Days of Surrender. It's a novel about Julia Greenan, Elizabeth O'Farrell, who delivered the surrender and who is kind of famously got wiped out of the photograph of the surrender. The work I'm making at the moment began with learning about counter-oct, the oral score for bagpipes, and essentially I began to wonder if there is an oral score, that would possibly mean that Julia Greenan or Elizabeth O'Farrell's name is a little melody in its own right. In Pibroch, the classical bagpipe music, these little melodies, these starting points, are called the ground. These women of 1916 are the ground we walk on in 2016. The project itself is called If the Ground Should Open.
The third commission is a project by the British artist Simon Fujiwara. Simon had been researching for a while the extraordinary story of Roger Casement, and that is the starting point for a new commission where Simon examines how histories are made, how stories are told, and that blurring between fiction and reality. These new commissions are part of a range of new work that IMMA is in a very fortunate position to be able to support and show during the year due to the very significant partnership Mattison New Art at IMMA. We're very lucky at IMMA that we not only have our galleries, we have 26 acres of beautiful gardens, and in recent years we've had the Summer Rising Festival, which has invited audiences to come up to IMMA in the summer and have fun and perhaps have an experience that might not be quite what they expect. We're continuing that spirit of programming through A Fair Land, a model of a society run and imagined by artists, one that the public can come up to and experience at first hand. A very ambitious and unusual project for IMMA, which has been developed in collaboration with Grisdale Arts, a UK-based residency and commissioning agency. Artists create a different view on society for us. They tell us about ourselves, they challenge us, they create a space for debate, for the imagination, for the alternative view. And I think this is the role that IMMA's programme can play as Ireland celebrates this important year.
IMMA have been quite astute in terms of not trying to kind of create agendas, and this has been very much my experience, is that they've allowed me to kind of come to this and respond to it in the way that I would respond to it. As an institution, it's almost as much as you can do. You have to respond to, how people come to this subject and take it on that basis, rather than trying to be in the business of actually kind of creating the responses in the first place.
For me, as an artist, maybe the role, or my role, if that is the question, is to insist on my own truth in relation to these other truths. I have to insist on my own sense of what life is. Our history belongs to everyone, and IMMA within that belongs to everyone, not just artists, not just curators, everyone. And I think for me that's probably why it's one of my favourite spaces for that. It has that about it. Despite being this big old museum, it still manages to have that about it, which is quite a thing.
I came to IMMA because I was really interested, because a lot of my friends told me that they really loved it and that they visited it. So, and I'm an art student as well.
I've come with my family, with all my kids.
Jumped on a bus, came straight in. Bit of a cultural afternoon with the kids.
Just for an outing.
I think it's a fantastic building, the grounds, everything. The park out the back is also beautiful in the summer.
Play hide and seek around the gardens and all.
Certainly my youngest enjoyed also putting creating her own installation.
With loads of different artists and different periods. It's my first time. It's kind of a shame I haven't been here, but I think I will go. I'll be here more often. I'll definitely come back here soon.
It's been a great day for us.
Yeah, I love this place.
We really look forward to welcoming everyone up to IMMA during the year, and as ever we hope that that's a rewarding, enjoyable, challenging experience where people get a chance to just step out of their daily lives, see something that maybe changes their perspective, changes their position, and ultimately fosters the imagination.